Hi everyone, my name is Chris Maloney. Welcome to the Skillz Machine Studio. Today we're going to compare Skillz Machine with SuperDekerPro. Now SuperDekerPro is a big advancement on the earlier version of their product called simply SuperDeker. SuperDeker is not really in the same class as these two products because it only has 3 games. It's got 8 lights. It's a pretty narrow board, and there are no 2-player games. But let's do a comparison between Skillz Machine and SuperDekerPro. There's a number of things to point out. Pros and cons for both systems. All right, so first of all, both systems come with rubber bands that go at the end. By the way, I'm speaking about ice hockey specifically. For Skillz Machine, you can get it for field hockey. It comes with 2 field hockey balls and a turf overlay. This just goes on top of the platform. But for ice hockey, that's what we're going to be talking about because SuperDekerPro and SuperDeker do not come with a field hockey option, or I should say is not available with a field hockey option. On the ice hockey side, both systems come with rubber bands that get installed on the end. They're not installed today for this video. And these rubber bands are used as rebounders, so you can slide the puck into the rubber bands and it bounces back. Both systems also come with a spray that creates a virtually friction-free surface so that it plays, very much like an ice surface. Skillz Machine comes with 2 pucks and SuperDekerPro comes with 1 puck. Now, the SuperDekerPro puck is smaller than regulation and weighs less than regulation. The Skillz Machine pucks are both regulation ice hockey pucks. Both machines, the pucks for both machines have magnets inside which trip the sensors that allow you to score. Now, a couple of basic things that are different. The number of lights in Skillz Machine is 10. The number of lights in SuperDekerPro is 17. However, the number of Skillz challenges that are in Skillz Machine is 18, 5 of which are 2-player games. In SuperDekerPro, the number of skill challenges is 10 that come with the platform. However, you can download an app, which is a very nice app. It allows you to have an online leaderboard, so you can play the game and then ask your friend to play their game and report your scores to a online board. If you download the app, and then for fees it was hard for me to determine based on their website, you can pay or purchase additional games. It might be that it's a subscription service and you get up to 19 games, or you buy the games individually. Again, it wasn't particularly clear, but no matter, 18 games on Skillz Machine out of the box, including 5 2-player games, 10 games with SuperDekerPro out of the box, no 2-player games. And I don't think, even with the app, that you have an option for any 2-player games on SuperDekerPro. Now, one of the other things I'd like to mention about the pucks is that the SuperDeker puck, even though it's smaller, it allows for less precision scoring opportunity than does the Skillz Machine pucks. And by the way, I mean, if you use the SuperDeker puck on Skillz Machine, it doesn't require the same level of precision on Skillz Machine as the Skillz Machine pucks. And if you use the Skillz Machine puck on SuperDekerPro, then you also are required to have very much better precision, which is to say, if the magnet is the end of my pointer here, the puck has to go directly over it for precision. And with the SuperDeker puck, it just needs to get nearby and it will trigger the sensors. So Skillz Machine is a more precise system, and for developing neuromuscular pathways and muscle memory, that's an advantage of Skillz Machine. I mentioned the games already and the 2-player games. That's really important, and we'll come up with that later. Now, SuperDekerPro is more narrow than the Skillz machine. What that means, and it's 8 feet long though, it's much longer than Skillz machine. Skillz machine is 5.5 feet long. SuperDeker is 8. Now what that means though, because it's more narrow, so Skillz machine is 2 feet, almost 9 inches, and SuperDeker is about 2 feet 4 inches. So with SuperDeker, as an ice hockey player, you can do a lot of neuromuscular pathway development for moving to the left and over to the right and back again. There are some smaller opportunities to go back and forth, in other words, closer to the body and then further away from the body. That is more enhanced on Skillz machine because it's much wider, and I'll demonstrate that later in the video. The other thing to note is that there are time variables in the skill challenges that come with Skillz machine. So for example, there is games that are 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and 60 seconds long. And for example, the lights on Skillz machine in those games might come on for 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and 1 second. So you have an increasing length of time to play the game, but a decreasing amount of time to reach your target. SuperDeker, every game is 45 seconds long. So there's less progression available with SuperDekerPro than with Skillz machine. Now, a very nice feature, potentially nice feature of SuperDekerPro is that there's a battery built in. So you see that it's not plugged in right now. I'm going to power that up in a second. Now with Skillz machine, there's no battery. I've hooked up an external battery that I got from Walmart.com for $10, something like that, and a $3 cable. Skillz machine doesn't have a built-in battery. SuperDekerPro does, but you can't open up the SuperDeker platform. There's no way to get inside it. With Skillz machine, you just lift up the polycarbonate platform and you can get into the guts. So you can do self-repairs. If there were a battery in it, you'd be able to replace it. You can replace the scoreboard or any of the lights if they happen to malfunction. With SuperDekerPro, the system is sealed. Now for the lights, of course, that's a problem. For the scoreboard, that's a problem. But it's a real problem, in my estimation, for the battery, because there's not a lot of information about the battery that I've been able to find on their website or in the materials that came with it. Which is to say, I don't know how long the battery would last. And I don't mean a charge of the battery. I haven't tested that. I assume it probably would last a couple of days. It doesn't take a lot of energy to run it. But if the battery dies, if it reaches end of life, like in your iPhone or an Android phone, well, with an Android phone, you can usually just replace the battery. With an iPhone, you have to take it into a shop. With SuperDekerPro, you cannot open this up. So if the battery dies, I just don't know what your options are. Do you take this and send it back to SuperDeker? Do they say, oh, the battery died, here's a new piece, throw the other one away? I just don't know what the process for that is. That's a mystery. And again, for other repairs, it's also problematic that you cannot open the SuperDekerPro. I have another video where I demonstrate how to replace a motherboard or in the Skillz machine. So look that up if you want to see how you just peel this off to get into it. Now, so I would say it's cool that it has a battery, but it's also a con. One of the things that in marketing the SuperDekerPro is that it is supposedly, if you will, I say supposedly, it's portable. Well, they're both portable. You can pick them up and lug them around. But there are 3 sections with SuperDekerPro. One here, here, and a split in the middle of Skillz machine. Now with SuperDekerPro, you can separate this piece from the others. So you have 1 panel in my hand and 2 still on the floor. And this is the panel with the smarts. It's got the scoreboard. Same thing with Skillz machine. The scoreboard is the smarts. And so that's the motherboard, basically. It's the technology is in here. That's what contains the games. I can push this button to turn the, this button to turn the product on. And so you can see that it lights up. And arguably, I could take this with me and go to my friend's house. but I wouldn't really want to carry it to my friend's house because well, I guess I could play it and then my friend could play it, but there are no two-player games. I guess the other opportunity is maybe take this to a tournament, but it's kind of luggable as opposed to, easy to carry. And then the other thing I'd point out, I mentioned I would highlight the difference in the width. Well, this is the SuperDeker on top of Skillz Machine. You see all this extra real estate on Skillz Machine. But basically, this portion that's portable for SuperDekerPro is almost half of the board. I mean, it comes down to the middle split. So if you wanted to take your board to a tournament, I would rather take the Skillz Machine. I fold it in half. It's about the same size of this. It's certainly just as luggable. It's no less portable. I guess it's a little heavier. But then I could play two-player games when I get to the tournament. So this is a cool feature in terms of marketing. I'm not sure it's a very important piece in the real world, in terms of practical use. And I think that covers most of the differences. If you have any questions, let me know. Once again, I'm Chris Maloney from Skillz Machine.